Hi guys, my name is Nikhil and you're watching Excel in Excel. This is lesson 6 for Microsoft Excel for beginners. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you're enjoying the content on this channel, then feel free to share this with your friends and family. Because, like I said before, I think this is a tool that everyone is probably going to benefit from. Just before I start this episode, I want to remind you that there are going to be timestamps available in this video, so you can jump in and out whenever you feel like, and probably skip through parts that you are probably not interested in. In today's episode, we're going to discuss a few functions such as the count function, how do we use the format painter, which is this option here, how do we remove duplicates, how can we link our sheets to different web pages, folders, and different sheets, and how can you just paste a certain set of data across multiple sheets in a very easy way. So just to start, let's start with the count function that we have. Count function, like the name describes, is the same meaning basically. If I just want to count, say for example, the number of entries that I have. So if I just highlight this range, you can see Excel quickly gives me the sum here, it gives me the count, it gives me the average. And I think we already discussed the sum and average formulas, right? But if you just want to use the count function, I would basically just have to open a formula cell here. I have to enter equals to count and I choose my range basically. So when I select this, I don't have to close the bracket. I could just press enter as well. So when I press enter, I get the count, right? So I can maybe know number of Jan sales, for example, right? And at the same time, if you look what happens if I use this formula for this column here, which has text in it, and I press enter, I get 0, right? And this is happening because the count function works on numericals and not on text or any sort of format. But if you want to get a count on this column here, which is for a salesman, for example, all I would have to do is maybe enter the count a function, which is again for text, or any sort of data which is non-numericals, and maybe I will have to just choose 20. When I press enter, I get 17. So this is count for text or any others, right? Except numericals. This could be useful sometimes when you have obviously when you have this these many rows. It's not an enormous sheet of data that you're using, but it's something basic. But once you start dealing with sheets which have a lot of rows and columns, this could be useful, right? The next function we are going to talk about is the format painter. Format painter is nothing but it's just a very quick way of copying the formats that you have in a few cells and applying it to different set of cells. So see, for example, I want to enter a column here which is called total 2. I don't know why this is popping up, but just let me choose a fresh cell, which is somewhere here, for example, right? Sum total. Let me just right? So if I have basically a different column that I want to add, and I want to basically maybe have these numbers copied and pasted, for example. But you see how these look like? But my intention is to have sort of this format applied to these cells here. So all I have to do is just highlight these cells. I click format painter and I just do one click on cell V3, and then everything is just following the same format here, including the numerical data that we have. So all the currencies are formatted, the border linings are coming up, the total which is being bold and underlined. So everything is copied and pasted. So similarly, I could have something here and I could apply the format paint over here. You could do this across multiple cells as well. So say for example, I just remove the highlights, I just take off the bolds, italics, and I just take off all the borders from these cells here, right? What happens when I just maybe format the painter and I just drag it across? So all the formats are basically following whatever was in my selection previously. So it could be a very easy way to just make your sheets look presentable, and I think it's pretty useful if you just use the format tool instead of just going and doing this copy pasting line by line, for example. Yeah. The next function that we have is the duplicates function, or removal of duplicates. This is just a sample. Obviously, the sheet doesn't make sense, for the usage of removing duplicates. But there are a lot of times where you have cells which don't have to be duplicated in a sheet. So there's a very quick way that Excel allows you to just remove those duplicates from your file. Let me just delete this and let me keep it simple. Yeah, if I have just a location column where I have different countries, but I just want to have one entry for each unique name, right? Before I jump into how you remove duplicates, maybe there's also a way that is pretty useful where you could just highlight what duplicates you have in the file, and it's a part of conditional formatting. So if I go to conditional formatting and I go to highlight cell rules, and then I just select duplicate values. So what I'm essentially asking Excel to do is highlight all the duplicates that I have, and this could just be a way for you to have a look at them. And now if you want to remove duplicates, when you go to data, and it's on the data tools ribbon, so you'll have basically this option here which says remove duplicates. So when you click remove duplicates, it's going to ask you which column are you intending to remove duplicates from. So for me, I just have one column right now, and it's location, right? And when I press OK, you see what happens. It's just going to take out 11 duplicate values, and it keeps only 6 unique values in my cell. So again, I think this applies to even the count. When you have tons of data and you want to play around with these functions, it's going to be useful. But obviously, you don't see the benefit of this in such a small selection of data, right? Now moving on to how do we add hyperlinks or how do we add links to your Excel file. You could add links to folders, different sheets in your Excel file, and even external. You could have a link that you click in your Excel file, and it takes you to a web page. So we will see all 3 of them. Let's start with a different sheet, or maybe just having this cell here linked to a different sheet. So I just typed this in basically. Yeah. So these are text cells. When I click on write and I press link, it's gonna give me options. Do I want to use it from existing file? Do I want to have it from a place in this document, which I want, for example, right now? And it's gonna basically give me options of different sheets that I have. So say for example, I want format painter to be linked, the sheet to be linked, and I press OK. What happens is when I click sheet, it automatically takes me to this sheet here. What you could also do is it's going to take you to A1. What that means is when I press sheet, it takes me to the format painter sheet, but also my cell is going to be by default at location A1. So that's something that you can keep in mind, right? When I want to basically have a link to a web page from my Excel file, let's say I want to have a link to my channel, and I just go here and I copy my address. I will go to link again by right clicking, and then I could just go here, and when you see the address, I just paste my URL and I press OK. So I should be opening up the web page when I click this button here. There we go. So this is how links sort of work for web pages. I could also open up a folder, for example, in my computer. So the way to do that is, say for example, I want to have a link. So all I would do is just click this bar here. I would copy the address, and I would go to folder, link, and I would paste the address here. So what happens is when I click, my folders open up. So I think it's a pretty cool way if you just want to have links, different types of links in your Excel file. The last feature which we'll talk about today is how do you paste a set of data across different sheets. So say for example, I want to copy this as cell A1, right? And my intention is to have this link in all the sheets here. So the easiest way to do this is, I copy this cell over here, which is A1, and then I choose one of the sheets. And if I want to select all the sheets, on the left that you see, I just have to hold shift and I click on the first sheet that I want. So if you can see here, what happens is it's highlighting all the sheets together, and which means that if I go to cell A1 and I paste it, uh, what it's going to do is going to paste the same sheet link in all the tabs. And just make sure that obviously you don't have any cell which is already occupied, because what Excel is going to do, it's going to replace that cell in a way. So just make sure whichever cell you're choosing to be pasted, it's sort of empty in each of the sheets. That is your target location. With that, I am going to leave this episode. I hope you've enjoyed, and you are liking the lessons that I've been posting. And hopefully, in the next few episodes, we jump on to more advanced skills. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the basic stuff for now. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment about your views on how you find these lessons. This is me checking out. I will see you very, very soon in the next episode.